Hey guys, this is Tauna. Today we have a very interesting potential leak here. Now, I say potential because, not every leak necessarily needs to come true or anything like that, but this one looks pretty believable to me, especially given the numbers down here and everything like that. So this leak that we've seen is the other four flip Planeswalkers. So if you don't know, in Modern Horizons 3, there's going to be a series, a number of different flip Planeswalkers, one for each color that then flip into a dual color. So the Ajani one, and they're meant to tell the story of essentially that character and how they kind of got their spark and everything as well. So Ajani one here is white and then flips over into a white red. And yeah, that's basically it. We've seen this one for quite a while and everything. However, we've seen the other ones. So the first one here is going to be Grist, Voracious Lava. So Grist has Death Touch. Whenever Grist or Voracious Lava or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it entered from the graveyard or you cast it from your graveyard, you may pay green. If you do, exile Grist. I'm just going to move myself out of the way to make it a little bit easier. If you do, you may exile Grist and then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. So essentially, green black graveyard play is going to make a lot of use of this, and then the transformed version of Grist, we've got create a 1/1 black green insect creature token, then mill 2 cards, put a death touch counter on the token if a black card was milled this way. Interesting. We've got -2 target artifact, destroy target artifact or enchantment, and then -6 is for each creature card in your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 1/1 black green insect. That is going to be really cool. That's like a cool finisher kind of thing, just kind of summoning out all of these copies of whatever you've got in your graveyard. If you've got some things in there that could buff up the other stuff, there's got some really interesting things you could potentially do there. The cool thing about these as well is because their front side is a legendary creature, you can run it as a legendary creature as a commander. This is meant to be a Modern Horizons set, but you can run it as commander, and we primarily kind of focus here on commander in my channel at least. And, you can run them as like a green-black commander and stuff. The next one here is Tamiyo Inquisitive Student, then Tamiyo Seasoned Scholar. So the front side has flying. Whenever Tamiyo Inquisitive Student attacks, investigate. And then when you draw your third card in a turn, exile Tamiyo and then transform it. Then on her flip side, she's got until next turn, whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, it gets -1/-0 until end of turn. Not a great kind of plus, but it is +2. You can do that faster. -3 is return a target instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. If it's a green card, add 1 mana of any color. And then -7 is draw cards equal to half the number of cards in your library, rounded up. You get an emblem with no maximum hand size. I love this. This is really cool. And then you have no maximum hand size with an emblem. Really, really interesting. We've got Rel, Monsoon Mage. So he has instants and sorceries, cost 1 less. And then whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell during your turn, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, he deals 1 damage to you. If you win the flip, you may exile Rel. If you do, return him flipped. And on his other side, he enters the battlefield with an additional loyalty counter for each instant and sorcery you've cast this turn. The +1 until your next turn, instants and sorceries cost 1 less. -2 is he deals 2 damage divided as you choose between 1 or 2 targets, and then draw a card if you control a blue permanent other than Rel. So if we have a look at the Ajani one, this is going to be in his -2, it's going to be red, right? Yeah. So it seems like they kind of played off of this thing where their second ability is dependent on the other color. So, he turns into a white red, green black, blue green, and then, red blue. Draw a card if you control a blue permanent other than Rel, and then -8 is exile the top 8 cards from your library, and you can cast instants and sorceries from them without paying their mana cost. That one's not quite as great because you're not necessarily going to hit, the a decent amount of instants and sorceries, but if you're playing a Spellslinger deck, then you could potentially hit some really nice stuff there. All right, and then the final one here, we've got Sorin of House Markov. So he's got Lifelink, he's got Extort, and then at the beginning of your upkeep main, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, at the beginning of your post-combat main phase, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, exile him, then transform him. So his flip side, he's got Extort still. He's still got Extort. He's got +2, create a food token. -1, he deals damage equal to the amount of life you gain this turn to any target. And then his -6 is gain control of target creature. It becomes a vampire in addition to its other types. It put a lifelink counter on it. If you control a white permanent, put a lifelink counter on if you control a white permanent other than that creature or Sorin. So essentially, you get to gain control of other kind of creatures with that. So that one's actually, no, that's the third ability with him that's dependent on the white creatures. So yeah, this is really interesting. So Sorin's like a life gain based commander that creates food and steals things. We've got Rel, Spellslinger. Spellslinger is just Rel. Tamiyo based around drawing cards and mostly just drawing cards kind of thing. The instance of sorceries is mostly going to be based around like, you know, drawing cards and stuff as well. And then you've got Grist there based around graveyard play. All 4 of them look really, really interesting. It's a really cool cycle in my opinion. I'm pretty excited for it. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I hope you guys had a wonderful day and goodbye.